Shalom, this is Mary Omni from the World Government House of King David, Holy Covenant Constitutional Enforcer. This is a Republic Notice. The title of this Republic Notice is called Detroit Bankruptcy of Smoke and Mirrors. Detroit Bankruptcy of Smoke and Mirrors. I don't know if you heard it or not, but in 2013, Detroit declared itself as bankrupt. Now, the significance of this may go beyond many blacks' head, and then it may not. But this is the significance. It's the first city to so-called go bankrupt, and it is a holy heritage site. A holy heritage site because it's the birthplace of MOTOWN. MOTOWN was commissioned by the Kingdom of David. A lot of people don't believe that, or they don't know that. And when they hear this the first time that I'm telling you that MOTOWN was commissioned by the Kingdom of David, they would need proof. The proof of this is in my decree. I got proof that you can't get around that MOTOWN was commissioned by the Kingdom of David. Now, this city, which is one of many American cities belonging to the states of America that is constitutionally non-consented. Don't let nobody fool you. All states in America is owned by supreme constitutional contract, all state land. There is in truth no such thing as public land. That was made up by the public, Mystery Babylon, to pretend that they can just come on someone else's birthrights, come on after the war, and do what they want to. There's no such thing as public land. All land in America is non-consented. The Union won the war. The Union wrote the history. The Union cosmically locked the Constitution so that land could not be owned by anyone. The only thing they can ever do is trample and then put up their smoke and mirrors for their trampling, and then make everybody think because they steal wealth from the Constitution and throw it around that they somehow own land that's been non-consented and sealed by supreme contract since 1870. Now, anyone with common sense knows that this so-called bankruptcy in Detroit, if it is a bankruptcy, it's done by design, because we got multiple $1 trillion to feed the whole world and a war around the world. We got multiple $1 trillion to war all around the world to do everything we want to, but poor little Detroit had to go bankrupt. I mean, how silly does that sound? I mean, that sounds so silly that only the silly would believe that Detroit had to go bankrupt. California been broke. But since they want all these immigrants to help trample the Constitution and to try to overthrow God's sovereignty, they find billions to make mistakes with them. They find billion tax loops for them. Oh, they even giving tax loops to their relatives in Mexico. They got money for all that. They got money for everything. But because Detroit is a holy heritage site, and they know it, it's the birthplace of MOTOWN, R&B, that the world sings to and the world is admiring, this high-frequency music, the love story of Judah, the history by song of Judah, Judah life experiences in history and song of MOTOWN. It's the same thing with Louisiana and New Orleans. They somehow could not rebuild that unless they moved the blacks out and did what you call, regentrification. And so now, everything, as long as you move the so-called dirty blacks out, after you done attritioned them out of their own constitutional wealth, everything would be A-okay. Just move the pasty whites in, and then let all the white senates throw all the money their way for the regentrification projects, the school, the council, and everything, and then put a foreign governor in there, or keep a foreign governor in there in brown skin under corporate doctrines. So this is the smoke and mirrors, and Louisiana got a big ass sinkhole. So, you can keep on playing these games with God Almighty. You can keep on playing these games with the woman seed. But just like you lost the Revolutionary War, just like you lost the Civil War, these was wars, and the Revolutionary and the Civil War, these was wars called for the liberation of God's people. And that's why they was won. Even the Revolutionary War. Even though it took 11 years later for blacks to be put in the Constitution, even as 3/5. But don't let the 3/5 alarm you, because 3 + 5 = 8. That's infinity, okay? See, that's the point of view you never hear. But getting back to Detroit, it's all smoke and mirrors. It's all smoke and mirrors because somebody wants Detroit. Somebody wants Detroit. Either they done found a mine there, they done found some oil. One of these corporations, probably the corporation who think they own MOTOWN, want Detroit. Then they want to go there and they want to try to do it themselves to try to claim the rights to MOTOWN and the city of MOTOWN. But see, they cannot undo the supreme contract. MOTOWN has been non-consented. MOTOWN has been non-consented since 1868 by Supreme Republic contract. And see, whites, especially the white majority, they don't know the difference between the public and the republic. They think they could be both because they think their white skin was all she wrote. And everything goes by their white skin. Everything is determined by their white skin. Even them digging up old Egyptian graves in the Valley of the Kings and stuff. Some of them kings have masks on them to even show what they look like. And then a white person goes and said, well, I'm going to remove the mask and I'm going to try to take the bone structure and I'm going to try to carve what they look like. And then they lean them looking like white, ignoring the mask as if the mask was just there for show. See, these people are in such strong delusion, and it's a symptomology of a calcified pineal gland. And so that's why when blacks following them, they following some seriously deranged and seriously mentally decapitated people. They might as well be decapitated. Oh, they swear they're smart because their dark principalities masters move around in their brain and try to make them think it. But their smart principality masters of darkness is falling. And so what you're going to see is them turning on each other, and their real insanity is getting ready to start to show. So don't let this Detroit bankruptcy fool you, because they already moving in. Investors and everything is moving in, calling themselves playing this game of, oh, Detroit is bankrupt. But let me tell you something. Detroit can never go bankrupt. Detroit is owned by supreme constitutional contract, just like the state of Michigan. Michigan is owned by supreme constitutional contract. And it's in the contract with God people, the black Jude-Asian Americans. They're married to the land, and they God namesake. Now, if Detroit is broke, that means the Most High done went broke. So when you believe the Most High is broke, then you might as well have a calcified pineal gland just like them while they play their smoke and mirror games. Their time is running out. And for some reason, they want Detroit. They done found oil or something, or they're going to try to reclaim it as all white owned and all white heritage, all on black music and black people back. Just like they tried to do New Orleans. They try to rewrite history. They always have to have a soulless win. They always have to have the last word. They always try to iconoclast something. And you know, you find a lot of blacks that go along with it, like Professor Griff. He acts like whites and the Illuminati is the real power and be all. And this is the same sentimentality of many blacks. They're willing to hand over their heritage. Some even say the Constitution belongs to Esau and the white man because they're willing to turn over their heritage. They're willing to turn over their heritage. They want to put the white man before the blood of Judah, who built that Constitution, who built the United States, who went to war, even the black Buffalo Soldiers who are the 15th Amendment. See, and this is the problem. This is the problem. White people have gotten black people following their Babylon and smelling their Babylon farts, and they smelling the farts of a people who got a calcified pineal gland and getting high off of farts. People got a calcified pineal gland and then coming on like Professor Griff and giving and acting like the powers of darkness is all she wrote, as this King Yeshua don't exist. This land is ours, okay? And until they understand it, sinkholes is going to be toppling their cars and property, okay? And we're going to inherit a spiritual earth. We're going to inherit a spiritual earth, and don't believe that God don't have his kingdom set up right for his people, okay? Because God has had plenty of time to work on his kingdom for his people and his overcomers. So we watch this smoke and mirrors and thinking they're going to own something that ain't theirs. History is written by the victors. And guess what? You blacks are in that Constitution. You are the victors. Do not be fooled at the last moment of smoke and mirrors. Another thing, HUD all of a sudden went and talked to the NAACP. And they went and told the NAACP that they wanted to make sure blacks have good housing in the suburbs, and they want to do a fair exchange of some blacks in the suburbs and some whites coming to the city, and they want to move blacks next to whites so blacks can have access to good schools and stuff. This is the same thing that was done in Brown versus the Board of Education. Nobody wants to integrate with them. Just give me my damn money. Stop infringing on my damn money. Stop infringing on my damn wealth. And stop acting like we gotta give these calcified pineal glands anything. Stop acting like it, because guess what? Their father is coming for them. They better go to their satanic father, who is public mystery Babylon. They're all about the public. They ain't about no republic. So stop giving them our republic wealth. This is Mary Omni from the House of King David. Don't buy the smoke and mirrors of Detroit going bankrupt. That's another satanic ploy. This is Mary Omni from the House of King David. Shalom.